Hey everyone, this is Chill Sports Show. With me as always is Ray Carey. I'm your man Van. And today we're going to go over some of the NCAA tournament, the craziness of that, and then a little bit of the upcoming draft. We've already hit the combine, we've hit the pro days.
Yeah.
And we got a few more pro days, I think.
Yeah, a few more. And I think, just try to get a feel for who's actually going to go.
Going where? Yeah.
Tough,
no kidding. It's going to be fun, I think.
Yep.
But first, before that, this happened.
20-point lead in the greatest upset in the history of this tournament. It's going to happen. Devastating. Wow. The guy who leads the band, here's Sherman. He made great plays early with shots.
UMBC, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, did anyone really see that coming?
No, nobody ever, I would say.
16
I think you'd be
versus one?
a lie. I did see on Facebook one gentleman that put down, I believe it was over an $8,000 wager on the money line on UMBC.
No shit.
And it I can't remember, it cleared out. It was an ungodly amount. It was
yeah.
like 60, 70,000 or something like that, because
Goddamn.
nobody ever thought that a 16 seed would beat a 1 seed, and it happened.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
Tony Bennett, Virginia squad out of the ACC was the first one to go down.
and I was watching the game, and they just kept on going farther and farther. They just kept on. They'd make Virginia make a little run, and then UMBC just keep on hitting them.
They did, and I watched a little bit of the game myself, and I kept thinking Virginia was going to make that run. And Virginia really just, they hung their hat on defense. Tony Bennett's, he's a defensive oriented coach, just like his dad Dick Bennett was at Wisconsin for a long time. But it basically, I just don't know if Virginia really just didn't expect it, and they just didn't play up to their potential. No. They did have DeAndre Hunter out. He was the sixth man of the year in the ACC, and that did hurt, but that's still no excuse. Wahoo, you didn't bust my bracket, but I did have you in the Final Four, so at least I didn't have you as the champion, but you hurt me like you did a couple of years ago.
Everybody, I think. How many cries did I see?
I think there was like 50% of the people had Virginia in the championship game, even.
Yeah.
So that's a large percentage.
Yeah, that's a good percentage. Yeah, you don't see it. You don't. I've seen people say that they didn't expect it in their lifetime. It's an exciting thing.
Yeah,
and it's a first time thing. It's kind of nice to see it in our generation. Honestly,
it is. I think you're starting to see a lot in college basketball. The effect of the one and done rule, where you can have some years where you can have some very good squads with some amazing young talent, like some Kentucky, for example.
Yeah.
But it's usually the squads that go further in the tournament, or the teams that have some of those young pieces also mixed in with some guys that have been around
the veterans
for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you look at Kentucky this year, and they have obviously some guys that are going to be out in the draft next year, I didn't expect them to lose to Kansas State and Bruce Weber, my old University of Illinois head coach at one point, and that. So first time that he's been in the Elite Eight since that Illini squad.
Did you see that one come at all? Because honestly, I missed that game. I saw the score. Like, hey,
I didn't even get to. I was working actually at night. The other night on Thursday night, I was one of my clients is a bar in Wyoming, and I caught the very last 3 minutes of it. I was pretty surprised, as Weber was kind of getting some calls for his head in Manhattan this year as a kind of a guy that can recruit enough to get you to the tournament, but not enough to basically get you bounced in the first round. And that's what he's been doing at K-State for the last few years. I had them beating Creighton in the first round and losing in the second round, but obviously they were able to beat you and slide by UMBC, who almost got them too.
Right, they did. It was a heck of a game, honestly.
And that, so
I got the highlights for that one. So that kind of brings us to Kansas State versus who we got going on, Loyola.
Loyola, took care of business today, and of course, me being a Miami Hurricanes fan as well as an Illinois basketball fan. Of course, Illinois is on the down slide right now, and when I became a Miami football fan, Miami didn't have a college basketball team at that time.
And why is that?
they just for a period of years they didn't have a basketball squad.
We know the real reason. That's
so
you only get caught cheating so many times. Whereas
so we're actually one of the teams that's not getting implicated
right?
in cheating.
Yeah.
Even though we did get implicated, it turns out it wasn't even true, and it kind of destroyed our 2018 recruiting class because we have nobody signed now because everybody thought we were going to be on probation. But anyway, I watched the Loyola Miami game. I was worried because I know what a good coach that Loyola has, as well as what a good team that they had playing in the Missouri Valley. It's still a bona fide,
it's a decent conference.
Second, conference. Yeah. I mean, granted, they don't have the Wichita State and Creighton anymore like they did. That was really but even going back, the Valley's had good teams, with Illinois State, going back even some old Bradley teams, stuff like that. Yeah. But it basically, I had a feeling Miami would struggle. They didn't have possibly their best player, and Bruce Brown was out for the tournament, and we had him in the second half, and we let it go in a last second shot. Loyola also got the last second shot against Tennessee in the next round, but but they shouldn't have even got to that point. They were dominating Tennessee in the second half of that game. Shouldn't have came down to that at all. Yeah. And then ever since then, Loyola has been on that run, and now the Ramblers out of the Catholic school in Chicago is going to be in the Final Four.
That's what we love about the Sweet 16. That's what we love about March Madness, honestly.
Yes.
And the surprises, the second chances, the comebacks, and the rolls, man. I mean,
and how interesting would it be to see Loyola going against Villanova, who's the two best players on that team, Bridges and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is in Chicago. I mean, an outside of Chicago guy, I believe. Didn't play in the public league or anything like that, but in the area there. I mean, basically being an Illinois guy going against a team that has a 90-some-year-old nun, that they show on the sidelines all the time. The nun, right? And that, but it'll be interesting. Texas Tech's a very, very solid team too. The Villanova's
they had some good length inside.
Yeah,
too.
I have Texas Tech in the Final Four on my bracket. Not a lot of people probably. I know there was one of the tournament guy. I can't believe it was. I don't know if it was Seth Davis or somebody from CBS had Texas Tech going away too. But I caught them a couple of times during the year, just flipping around channels, and they impressed me with how they play. And the team oriented ball and that, and then they played well.
Nice.
Nice.
So who are you gonna? Since we're probably gonna do this, is gonna be the last one. It's gonna wrap up before we meet again.
We were gonna. Hopefully, we both got sick. We were gonna have a pre-tournament show where we
going.
Looked at all of this, and I could have told you how afraid I was of playing Loyola after that bracket came out. But I've been rooting for Loyola ever since they beat Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the only team from Illinois in the tournament. That's used to be really sad because used to with fall Illinois basketball has come, but also some other teams from Illinois would usually have some decent years to contend to be in the tournament. And this year they were the only team from the state of Illinois in the tournament, but
as it should be, people
representing well.
That's right.
So I am going to go for the Ramblers to go on and
knock off.
Well, let's see. You're going to have Loyola playing the winner of
Villanova and Tech, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So Nova and Tech play tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow p.m.
And but that goes down to this side of the bracket over here. So you are actually going to be looking at. I'd have to the way this one's set up. It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of screwy. Does it come from the Midwest?
Michigan. They're going to be taking on I mean, if Michigan beats Florida State, but Florida State's actually up by 2 at this time, which actually makes me sick as well. Not only that they have an ex-Miami head coach. I do like Leonard Hamilton. Yeah. Leonard Hamilton would have been the best coach I've seen at Miami, except for Jim Larrañaga.
Well, and that was the only hope that the guy from the West Coast had.
They've been playing very, very well on off. They can score. Florida State can score. They've scored all year.
Okay.
Their defense usually would be what let them down, but they've done well enough. I still don't expect them to win this game, even though they're up by 4 now. I expect Beeline and Michigan to keep that run going. And they kind of surprised me because Big Ten tournament had their conference tournament in New York City for the first time, and basically for the the right to have the exposure in New York City. They had their conference tournament at the same time. Almost some of the very smallest conferences started. I mean, just they didn't play for almost 2 weeks before the regular tournament started because the Big East has their tournament in New York City going into the 2025 or something. So they had to have theirs a week before that, and which a lot of Big Ten fans were, really ticked off about that because
don't blame them.
Yeah, number one. New York City's not a Big Ten town. I mean, when I think Big Ten, I don't think New York City, regardless of Rutgers being some X miles to the south. I don't think of that. It's the Big Ten tournament. It's in Indianapolis. It's in Chicago. Yeah. Those are the two towns that I think of the Big Ten tournament being in, and not in the Big Apple. Right. So I think Delaney, the commissioner, said they're not going to do that anymore. So I actually had Michigan going out earlier because of that. I thought they were going to be rusty. They had the beautiful run in the Big Ten tournament to win it, even though the Big Ten's a little down this year. They still have been, playing well in this tournament, and that I actually thought that Texas A&M would give them a lot tougher time. They blew out Texas A&M in that last game, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm definitely going for Loyola the rest of the way.
We'll have to do a little off the phone you maybe tomorrow after the games. Put you on speaker maybe, and we'll do a little.
Yeah, well, recap, we'll see Kansas and Duke.
Kansas and Duke, number 1, number 2, going at it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Illinois, had Coach Bill Self going against the legend Mike Krzyzewski.
Make yourself a legend by beating the legends.
Yeah, I'll go ACC in that. I'll take Duke. over Kansas. Yeah. Bagley is going to be a top 5 pick at least. Yeah. Maybe higher, maybe be like the 3rd pick after.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little weaker draft.
There's about 6 or 7 guys at the very top that I really, really like. It's the guys after
Bagley,
that.
Though. I mean, like he's long, he's got talent.
Yeah, the kid from Missouri, who didn't play all year until the SEC tournament game in which they got bounced.
What's his name?
It's Porter.
Okay.
Michael Porter. I believe it's Michael Porter Jr.
Okay. Yeah.
He, he was a potential even first pick. Yeah. So he comes in as a freshman this year, gets hurt in the very first game of the year with his back, sits out the entire season. They bring him back. He gets cleared, and he comes in and jacks up like 17 shots in the SEC champion or SEC tournament against Georgia. Missouri had kind of had a pretty decent team under Quanzo Martin, and we're starting to gel. And then he comes in, kind of messes up the chemistry by shooting 17 shots.
Just going there pulling,
and they lose.
Yeah.
And then they are the 8th seed in the tournament against Florida State, and they lose handily there too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but he's gonna come out. Yeah. He's gonna come out. Yeah. The European kid is probably going to be either I would say probably the 2nd pick, and DeAndre Ayton, I think, from Arizona is going to be the number 1 pick.
I've heard that name a lot.
And with as much trouble as Arizona is going to be in with Sean Miller and the scandal of paying players, he's definitely not going to be sticking around. Sean Miller's probably not going to be at Arizona for very much longer after that all comes around. But obviously, that's a big thing in college basketball because they have a lot of schools. I believe Duke next year, not to say that Mike Krzyzewski is dirty. I don't believe Mike Krzyzewski is dirty. Yeah. But, there's boosters behind the scenes that do things.
Every time, yeah.
Well, Duke's got, I believe, the number 1, number 2, and number 3 guys going to him next year as far as the recruiting rankings. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Well, I mean, even the Fab Five of Michigan they weren't ranked 1, 2. Chris Webber was number 1. I believe Jalen Rose and Juwan Howard would have been in
5 and 6.
Yeah, and then Ray Jackson and Jimmy King were 2 guys from Texas.
They were in the 20s or something like that.
They were down, and they were still good guys. They would be considered like high. I would say like Jimmy King and Ray Jackson would have been 4-star guys.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose would have been a 5-star guy. Chris Webber would have been a 5-star guy. Yeah. Juwan Howard probably would have been where you looked at borderline high 4, maybe 5. Depending on.
Well, I think he was pretty high because the reason they got him because him and Webber roomed together at some camp.
Yeah, because Juwan Howard was from Chicago. Weber was from the suburbs of Detroit. Country Day High School in Detroit is where he went to school.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose was from the projects of, I think it was from Flint, Michigan.
It was Michigan. I know.
Yeah, he's from Michigan.
Nice.
I think Flint. Don't quote me on that, but I know he grew up, in the rough side. Grew
Well,
up totally opposite than Chris Webber would have been in his growing up.
It wasn't all right. So back to Duke. Wasn't what's his name when they had not Rose but Jason Williams.
Yeah.
They had him. What was it?
They had Dunleavy Jr. and Carlos Boozer would have been the big three of that team.
But Boozer was who was the other power forward they had right before that? Was he the same class as them?
Those three would have been like the main players on that team. On the team they got upset by Indiana.
I thought they had what's his name? Went number 1 overall to Chicago.
Well, Jay Williams.
No,
Jay Williams went 2. Yao Ming went number 1.
No, that was Jay Williams did go number 1. That was next year. Yeah,
I can't remember if Yao went. I thought Yao went 1.
Stevie Franchise went number 2 to Houston Rockets that year, right?
No, I think that's a different year.
Okay,
that's a different year. Yeah,
and then what was the 6'8" big power forward they had with the big hands? Not Boozer. He was number 1 overall with the Clippers. Dang it! What the heck was his name? He was a good 2010 for the first.
Elton Brand.
Elton Brand.
That would have been earlier.
Was he? Okay.
That would have been more towards the Stevie Francis time, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Elton Brand would. Because Brand got drafted by the Bulls.
Right, number 1
in the same draft as they. I believe that. I'm trying to think who else was there, but on that draft
it wasn't much.
Yeah, but I mean, he was solid.
Yeah, he was.
It was a little bit after that Jay Williams. Yeah, and Jay Williams I believe went second. Yao Ming went first. Jay Williams went 2 to the Bulls, and then of course got in the motorcycle accident.
That was too bad.
And has been at ESPN ever since.
But
tore tendons up in his knee.
He never really became what everyone thought that he would become, and a solid player.
Yeah, a role player in the league, a guy that could shoot the 3 and stuff like that.
But
coach's kid.
Yeah, a smart guy, smart player.
Yeah, and that's so.
And then Boozer actually had some all-star years being drafted in the second round.
Yeah, had some decent years at Utah. And then it kind of. So he played with the Bulls, played with the Lakers. I think he's buried on the Lakers bench now, if I believe. I don't think he really plays very. Yeah, it's about the end of Boozer's career, just like it's the end of some of the guys in that era, like the Kirk Heinrichs and stuff like that. But. We'll see, but I mean that's a big deal. How they're gonna look at the one and done rule versus how the AAU squads operate, because that's where all the scandals from is the shoe companies like Adidas Nike. Funneling money into players to get them to go to certain places, schools, schools that they endorse, that they saw are the main jersey person. They wear their jersey, and that's where. Miami was one of the schools initially that they said they had a tape recording of one of the agents or runners from Adidas talking about, Coach Larinaga, and then it really devastated our Nasir Little was a guy that we were really, really close to getting, a 5-star guy. Ends up going to North Carolina. Well, North Carolina is also implicated in this deal.
Sense.
And North Carolina, they should have been hammered when they had fake classes. Basically, had players going to fake classes. They weren't even real classes during the time that they won the national championship against Illinois in 2005.
Yeah, well, we're on a good tangent. Do you think this is a long time coming?
Well, yeah, it's been going on forever.
Exactly.
I mean, the AAU coaches, the runners for them, they really control college basketball.
Do you think? What do you think the whole repercussions going to be? Do you think it's going to be good for college basketball, or
I think they should get? I'm a proponent. They've come out with some stuff really recently, and I believe that this is a good idea. Get rid of the one and done.
Yeah.
Make it a go or 2. So you could go right out of high school, or you're going to play for 2 years.
Yep.
College baseball is almost the same, except it's a 3-year deal.
3 years, just like football.
Yeah, you can go and maybe have a deal where you can, just kind of how it is now. like Bruce Brown in Miami declared for the draft, he's not going to hire an agent. He's going to test the waters.
So you can go
to
back,
the pre-draft camps, stuff like that. See how you are, get a feel. Are you going to get drafted in the first round? If you're not drafted in the first round, there's no guaranteed contract. They can just cut you like that. You'll end up in the G League, or what was the D League, not the G League. And so I believe that if you go to that type of format, it will really help. The kids that have don't want to be there at all. Are going to be able to go.
Yep.
I mean,
and you don't get so much scammy BS.
Exactly. And then the kids, Miami's got a kid right now.
And you don't get so many people in their ears saying, hey, one and done this or
exactly.
And you got kids that looking at it like, people who are doing that, they're gonna say, okay, well, this kid, he's going to go 2 years. So
exactly. Yeah. Miami's got a kid right now that, I don't think him or Bruce Brown are NBA ready. But if you can get drafted in the first round, who's it to me to tell you that you're going to be an instant millionaire?
Pass on millionaire.
Even if you get drafted at the end of the first round, your that 3-year contract, you're going to be a millionaire.
Yep.
Not very much over a millionaire, but you're going to be a millionaire. And so what you do with it at that point is how you are going to either make it in the league or not. So
you Danny Granger or not?
Yeah, are you gonna save your money and hope that you make it, and then if you don't, maybe you can go back to school and do something, or is it something where because the NBA has just got an insanely high percentage of players that end up broke.
Just completely.
Even players that make money, Antoine Walker,
AI,
money, Allen Iverson, another person.
One of the top players, one of the top money makers for Nike, all that stuff back in the day. And the guy's still broke playing for a year. Man, it's just one of those BS things, man.
I think it'll help. It'll help the players that don't want to be there be out, and it will help keep the guys that maybe shouldn't quite go after that first year at least around one more year.
Yeah, and that's
and that will help college basketball.
The ball is well better. So.
And it will keep some of those guys, that shouldn't have went out after that first year. And keep them in for that second year, and that will. So that's my take on that.
Better product all around, honestly.
Correct. And I mean, like I said, not to take it from me to take away anyone's chance to earn money, but especially that type of money.
Right. Yeah. You're making a good million then.
Yes. No. So. That's my take kind of on the NCAA and Loyola, and we hope that at least
go Duke.
Some Rams.
That's Blue Devils. That's going to chap some asses up here, so why not?
You're in Nebraska, so it's either go Duke or go North Carolina, because everyone in the Husker State goes out on a limb when it comes to
basketball.
They don't know anything about Husker basketball except the majority of the time they stink. So I got to be a Duke or a North Carolina fan.
Yeah, I'm from the West Coast, so Gonzaga is my strongest chance, right?
Gonzaga,
it's been the white knight for many years lately in the 2000s.
Yeah, even going back to the old John Stockton days playing at Gonzaga.
But in Washington, we had shit this year.
Yeah,
it was a tough year for Washington basketball, but
they'll rebound. They usually get a few kids from Seattle and maybe out in the West Coast and stuff. Yeah, so
it's been solid ball, but just not this year. Anyhow, that wraps up our college ball. We're going to talk about some draft stuff. Do you want me to pull up a graphic for any draft?
Sure.
Yes.
No,
we can cut
since we last talked. My Miami Dolphins have literally cut their entire roster. And they're going to go with a water boy and a few cheerleaders there this year on the offensive line.
They've got some nice picks though. They've acquired.
Well, they have. I don't think it was the Jarvis Landry thing's what really pisses off a lot of Dolphins fans. And you know what? Jarvis Landry is not a number one. He's not an Antonio Brown type wide receiver. He's not going to get that type of money.
Here's the thing. Well, like you said, yeah. But we discussed it last time. He's a slot trick guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a nice one and maybe a nice tight end, that guy Landry's going to kill people.
Yeah.
Landry's going to kill people.
Exactly. And he's going to give effort.
Miami's one.
Yeah.
And he wanted one money.
And he wanted one money. And so I'm glad that, and it's kind of
Sometimes
ironic
you
that they
have to-
traded him to Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
And then, of course, he's on the franchise
But
tag
Cleveland
right
has
now.
This could be some interesting.
Well, Cleveland was basically playing Madden in as far as the general manager of Madden.
They've been
as far as their roster.
throwing stuff.
But
it's been wild.
I feel
It's
good
fun.
for my boy Duke Johnson that he's actually going to have a little bit more talent.
He's
this year.
got Tyrod Taylor.
He's got
smart.
Yeah, he's
I
got.
mean-
I mean, Tyrod Taylor's not a franchise
No,
guy.
no,
But
absolutely
is
not.
he Deshaun Kaiser? Is he better than Deshaun
Yeah,
Kaiser?
good job.
Is he better than the list of clowns that
Cliff.
they've had at the quarterback
For
position?
18 years.
Forever, it
Yeah.
seems like. Yes, I do believe that, and it's good that we won't see Tyrod Taylor light up the Miami Dolphins like because Tyrod Taylor would light up the
He
Miami
enjoyed that
Dolphins
Miami
like
weather,
Joe
baby.
Montana. And so I'm glad I don't have to see Tyrod Taylor for twice a year.
I wonder how his.
They might draft Lamar Jackson though, and
Yeah.
then he'll
Well,
end up becoming the next.
I seriously think they'd be smart to. I think they'd be smart to take with the running back.
Barkley. No, yeah,
Barkley
if they
won,
were. I was looking
and
at
then
the
let fall what you get.
yeah,
or you be more
the
aggressive.
wide receivers they have with Landry.
They have Landry. They have the kid from Baylor they drafted a couple years ago. Who
Josh Gordon.
well, they have Josh Gordon,
I
but they have
mean-
the other kid that they drafted.
Yeah, they have that other. They have those three. They got
explosive team.
David Njoku from Miami, who
Yeah,
had a
they do.
solid year as
He
a
looked good. He had
rookie tight end.
Yeah, he has some nice plays,
And-
he's just gonna get better.
Yeah,
So,
and then you
lots-
got, and if you would have Barkley and Duke Johnson,
Johnson.
and Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. I mean, Joe Thomas did retire,
but
but
they still have a solid interior. They're-
serviceable offensive
yeah,
line.
their guards are. I like their guards. I like Joe Bentigno.
Yeah,
I like him. I like the other kid.
I mean, Cleveland might be scoring some points.
They
This year.
might have a competitive.
You
Like I said, Tyrod Taylor. He's a 500 kid.
Yeah, and you look at their division. Okay, the Steelers.
You
Big
don't
Ben
know
ain't
what.
get-
You
Big
don't
Ben ain't
know.
getting any younger.
No, you don't know what he's gonna do.
And they had a decent year this year, but then flopped right away in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had. Yeah,
And then you look at Baltimore. Baltimore doesn't look like they're on the rise.
they are not.
And
But I think- what we're
you don't
speaking
look
into-
like Cincinnati's on the rise. All of a sudden, the Cleveland Browns could be really rising up
The
in
best
that
of a
division.
bad division.
Yeah, and
you can easily see them 9-7.
yeah, I could
really
see them
and with a playoff berth.
barking at a wild card
Yep.
spot. So
So
we'll
good
see.
for them. I like to see that. And,
Yes.
God damn it, it's about time for Cleveland football.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL needs
Yeah.
Cleveland football for a while.
Well, it's been a long time since the dog pound.
The was barking. So
Yeah. So I do hope that I'm friends with Duke Johnson's mom on Facebook,
Yeah.
and I get to see her posts every week from the games in Cleveland, and I hope that for Mama Duke's sake and for Duke's sake that they get that going in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
that'd be fun. That'd be fun to see him on
Yeah.
third down back with that team, and that'd be spread out.
Yeah.
And they have Barkley in the backfield.
Yeah, they
Or
could be
even put
explosive.
even Duke in the slot or motion. That'd be a fun offense.
Yeah.
They could do something.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got let's just hop to your Dolphins because that's been a team that's been shaking and moving. They're at 13, aren't they?
Now they're at 11.
11. Okay, we just missed them right here. So we're going Oakland Raiders just beat them ahead of them right there.
Yeah,
so,
they flipped a coin basically and beat them on the coin toss. So everyone, no one knows who my Dolphins are going to draft. I've seen so many different people. The defensive lineman from University of Texas San Antonio. I've seen the linebacker from Georgia. I've even seen the kid from Central Florida, even that put up the crazy combine numbers. One with the missing hand.
Oh,
and that
in the first round.
Yeah,
I
I've
love the
seen
kid.
it.
I love the kid. He is a franchise type leader guy.
Yeah.
Man. He is going to do that for you. He's a culture changer.
Yeah,
Where do you play him? Because his best position is rushing the passer.
yeah,
And his weight is below 230.
yeah.
And during the season, it's almost damn near below 220.
Yeah. And
So he'd be a special player. You could move him around maybe, but what defense are you gonna play him in?
yeah,
Maybe a Bear 46.
You're gonna have to have a very creative defensive coordinator to put him in positions to shine. But I mean, if that kid can do what he's done,
he's an instinctive
I won't
player. I
hold
won't put
it
any past
against him.
Yeah.
I would like the Dolphins to really take the linebacker out of Georgia. I mean, I really think him. Raekwon McMillan, the kid that out of Ohio State that tore his knee and we lost him the entire season. I think that would be a very good, Kiko Alonso in there for a little bit, but eventually we'll get rid of him too.
Oh yeah.
And then a million people are talking about whether they're going to sign Baker Mayfield. Even though Tannehill reduced his contract to give him more cap room, they signed Brock Osweiler just to a 1 year.
I don't see Baker making it to 11. So they've traded for capital.
Yeah, and I don't want them trading. I don't want them trading up to get one of those guys.
They had so much.
Yeah,
holes.
I want to.
So if he falls back to him,
then you take him.
Because I've seen Baker's heating up a lot. From what I've seen, you never know.
Yeah,
but a lot of people are. It's more and more like I'm not.
Oh
against him.
All those quarterbacks could be gone by 11.
Yeah, it could be 1,
Darnold,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Rosen, Mayfield, and
Allen.
And who? What's that?
Josh
Allen.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the
Big
four.
And then you have Jackson coming in. Mid round is what everyone's
I
picking.
think you could get him. I think someone will take him in the late first round.
Yeah, I want him to fall back to round 18, so Seahawks have some trade bait.
Yeah, I think there's like the Buffalo Bills. I've seen him at 12.
Okay.
Even taking him at 12.
Yeah.
Even though they went and got AJ McCarron.
Yeah,
I've seen the Redskins taking him in a mock draft at 13. So it's hard to say. I am, and I've some of my Dolphins fans have torn me up on Facebook. I am not a Lamar Jackson fan. He's incredible athlete. I just don't a lot of work on the mechanics.
Yeah.
A lot of work on the mechanics.
I don't think it.
He's not gonna. From what I saw in that bowl game, the 4 picks that he threw against Mississippi State, he looked horrible.
Yeah.
Trying to read the defenses there. Even though he doesn't have the excuse that he came from a total spread offense, because Bobby Petrino's offense is a pro style offense. Yeah. But the mechanics for him are everything, and being able to make those quick decisions, quick, where you're looking at second and third guys, you're not locked in on the number one guy all the time who's going to 90% of the good time is going to be covered. Right,
and we discussed this last time. Like, what they did with Cam Newton. Yeah. It was a one and run.
Yeah.
With Cam Newton, you have a tank running down the field that linebackers don't want to tackle.
Exactly.
Now,
even now, Cam's kind of like...
Cam's starting to...
Now, he's crying about how many hits.
Why are you hitting me? Because you're a tank.
Yeah, exactly. And so Lamar Jackson is nowhere near the build that
but, he's larger Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly would like to know. I can know every time what their 40 is. Sometimes their 40 once they get on the field, 40 don't matter. He's got speed.
I think Michael Vick would beat him in a straight 40-yard dash, but Lamar's got the moves. He's got the shake. He's got the shake. He could really. If somebody did try to convert him to wide receiver, and let's say it did possibly work out. I know it very rarely does.
Yeah.
But it could Antoine Randall L or something like that.
What's his name from Ohio State that finally took on and went to crap at
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
And Pryor he's a big guy.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Long strider, but I would. There's obviously excitement when you draft somebody like Lamar Jackson because you think about all the possible things he can do. And
that's why
to bank on him in that capacity. Now, if say the Dolphins got like Roquan Smith in the first round and they somehow got Lamar Jackson in the second round, I wouldn't complain then.
What type of capital? Because I know they've traded for some good capital and they've let's see what picks are they sitting at.
They have the 11, and then they have like a pick in the 40s, I believe, is their next one. Of course, Cleveland didn't want to give up one of those first rounders for Jarvis Landry. Too bad. I wish they would.
All right, suckers. Let's see here.
I even saw there was some pictures that they were going to trade for Sue for him and give him one of the first rounders, and that would have been amazing.
They have more than this. They only have.
So we got the 11th overall, we got the 42nd in the second, 73rd. We got the 2 fourth rounders. So that's
Okay, I thought they had more than that. But
no, we just got a 4th rounder for Landry.
Jesus Christ!
And he was a 2nd round pick originally, but he's a
he
guy
some ball for
that they knew that they were going to release him probably anyway.
They were
Now,
gonna get- yeah.
he wasn't going to go to Cleveland. You know, if they just would have released him and cut him, he was certainly not going to go to Cleveland.
No.
You know, and we don't even know how long he's going to stay in Cleveland after this season. You know, depending on would they, you know, franchise him again. You know, he's on the franchise from the Dolphins designation.
So yeah, they
he's
don't
stuck
have
in
as much.
Cleveland
They don't have
this
as much
year, no
capital
matter
I thought
what.
they had. So
No,
they.
I think for the Dolphins, it seems like it because it seems like they've always
Would you-
traded and gave up picks, or they never even had a full allotment
Would you
of
be
picks for a
against?
while.
Would you be against whatever your pick, your take of the picks at 11? If your guys fell to you at 11, whoever that would be.
The two guys I would be ecstatic if they fell to him would be the linebacker to Georgia Smith or the Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame.
I think yeah.
Yeah, those two guys. I think if
That
the
would be-
Dolphins
that
got
would
one of
be-
those two
that
guys,
would be
I
a
would
nice-
be very happy.
that'd be a nice-
I don't
Quentin
know
Nelson?
a lot about the kid from Texas San Antonio. He's a defensive lineman he's a pass rusher with a very good motor. You know, but you don't know too much about somebody that plays for the Roadrunners
Well,
at
yeah,
Texas San
I-
Antonio.
I
But he's a
should've-
first
I
round
should've
guy.
cut-
I've
if
seen.
he's a you know a wide end, I should have.
Yeah,
by now,
he's I saw him in a mock draft to Dallas, even in the first round, you know, and stuff.
Did he play in the Senior Bowl?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I really
I don't
missed
really
that
know
one.
too much
I'll
about
pull-
this
I'll
kid.
pull him
Yeah,
up.
but he, you know, if they got one of those two guys, I'd be ecstatic.
Well,
That's
Quentin
the-
Nelson, I think.
and
outside-
if they got Baker Mayfield, I'm gonna go with it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just gonna go with
Yeah.
it, even though I'd rather have one of the other two guys. But
would you? So how would you see if they trade up their second, one of their fourths, and a second or third next year back into the late first round?
You know,
Grab Jackson.
I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins trade and pick because it seems like we've just been pick deprived for a while now. We've traded picks away to get, I mean, the most recent one traded your pick to get Leonte Carew for the wide receiver out of Rutgers, who's been nothing but bust city for them, you know, and so I really would like them just to stand pat. Another kid I do like is the Edmonds, the linebacker from Vatech.
Virginia Tech.
He's solid
Large,
too. Yeah.
Tons of mobility.
Yeah.
He's got quick.
Yeah.
You know, he's
And this
I
one
like
is
him.
funny because Roquan Smith dropping all the way to 17.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time I've seen him be that low.
I-
I've seen him be top 10.
This is Rob's personal preference. I think he goes with what he
and the kid from Washington, Vita V, I've seen him be a lot lower.
I've
than
seen
that.
him bounce. Yeah, I've seen him
Yeah.
bounce into the top 5. I've seen him bounce into the 20s.
See, these guys have, so he basically has them trading up with
three-
San
two
Francisco
spots.
to get Baker Mayfield. Obviously, because he thinks that now looking at that,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so they're sitting at 11 already, right? So you're trading up to get the 9th pick. So you're what? You're afraid. You know San Francisco doesn't want him.
Who would you? Yeah, who
because
would
they
you-
just signed Garoppolo,
Yeah, who
and then the team in the middle. I mean, unless you're thinking
Raiders.
another team was going to, the Raiders aren't going to take him. I mean, they got Carr. They're not going to take Baker Mayfield. I'd be shocked if John Gruden drafted Baker Mayfield.
I think he's thinking
Somebody else was gonna move up?
Arizona, Baltimore, and the Chargers.
Okay, all right. So that would be your only mentality where they would even make that trade, because somebody else is going to jump you
because
too. Otherwise,
Frisco-
you could sit at
because-
11, not make a
yeah.
trade, and still get him.
Yeah, because Frisco's okay with it. So they don't have a lot of needs on the offense like these players right here in the top.
Yeah.
The safety makes sense to Frisco. Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, a linebacker.
Oh yeah, they can certainly trade down and still
They don't
get
need
the
a
guys they
quarterback.
want.
Don't- yeah. they don't- There's no running back you're going to take after Shankwon
No,
right here.
Barkley's-
They're all going to go in the top, the
Yeah.
top of the 20 or the. Or
In fact,
15.
but Barkley's the only running back that they have going in the
I think
first
so.
round.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a kid out of USC, Ronald Jones,
Yeah.
who's rumored to be in top 50.
Yeah.
There's a kid out of LSU, top 50.
Yeah, he's you know. I mean, they have
There's a couple of top 50
few
backs
guys,
that
top
will
50
bounce
guys.
between the second and first round.
Yeah,
grades.
and that. So I mean, that's basically looking at this list.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty happy if the Dolphins got one of those three guys. I'll say that. The two linebackers.
Mayfield to me really has. I don't know. He's almost to me the safest bet.
Okay.
I mean.
The accuracy is there.
Is off.
The mobility is there.
Like the smarts is there. The motivation's there.
I'd say the smarts, the motivation there. I don't have the granted with the running from the cops and that clip video. I don't have the reservations
Not that
with him
fast.
that you did with Manziel.
Yeah.
I mean, with Manziel, you knew it. Johnny Football was going to be snorting cocaine off a hooker's ass, the night after he was flashing money
we don't
signs.
endorse or deny not endorsing around here.
That was a no-brainer to me, and it should have been a no-brainer to Cleveland at the time. But of course, it's Cleveland, so that's what happened. But I do like him. The height thing worries me a little bit.
He's right under 6'2", right? He came out
That's what they say. He's around
combine.
6'1", 6'2",
Yeah.
That's Drew Brees' size.
Yeah, it's taller, it is.
Yeah, it's a little taller than Drew Brees.
What's
surprising, looking at that list, I don't even see that kid from Texas San Antonio on
the
list at all.
That's why I was looking for him. I was honestly looking for.
Now there's the Ronald Jones. I saw the Seahawks taking. So the Seahawks think that they need a running back in the first round.
How many we get these young guys and they're looking good, and all of a sudden they get injured and they look like crap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they don't need a running back, but I mean, I think they got some more holes now. That defense has gotten old. You don't have Sherman anymore.
They got
Earl Thomas. You got for probably one more year, and he'll be gone because he's a free agent after
one more year
on his deal.
And he did a nice tweet where he said, "Look, don't get me wrong here. Let's not get it wrong. I want to be a Seahawk." So for whatever it's worth, whatever good.
Michael Bennett's gone now.
Bennett's gone, getting himself in trouble.
But
they have
assaulting elderly paraplegics.
They have a semi-young line behind it. They have Deion Jordan, who looked finally good for the Hawks. They have the kid from Michigan State who had 10 sacks the year before in spot duty, and last year like 6 or 5, but wasn't the same production. But the whole defense didn't do as good either. Yeah, I mean,
they ran into that
just
time where it's going to start to deteriorate. You only have so much of a window.
Yeah.
They got the one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They should have had two. Should have had two.
They almost should have had 3, but
Pete Carroll.
Crap.
Pistol Pete decides he needs to throw.
We're going to do these things.
Right? Was it the 1 yard line or the 2? Was it the 1.5 yard line? With 2 downs and a timeout.
There's a tight end, Luke Wilson, who insinuated it was completely for what it is, but insinuated that it was Russell that changed the play in the huddle. That's why that was a big schism in a team afterwards, and they had to.
It maybe did because I mean just having him drop straight back and
what was bad?
A quick. It should have been like a quick slant.
Well, was trying to somebody pick Browner, who's like a linebacker playing like a cornerback. Pick a linebacker.
But you're throwing into traffic at the 1.5 yard. Defensive tackle's knocking it down. You got everybody stacked at the box
right there.
They're already waiting. Instead of rolling Russell Wilson out, where he has a chance to just throw it away, and he can run it in, run pass option basically. That was the way to go. Actually, the safest play was handing it to Marshawn Lynch. You had a timeout in your pocket. It was only third down.
Second down.
Or was it second down? But with the time, they had really 2 plays.
They had 2
I'd
plays.
say 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been tough to get 3 in. It would have had to been like Lynch maybe get stuffed right, or they got the timeout right away. A very, very quick pass play that maybe you would have been left with like a second or something.
The dart to the ground.
Type thing. But really 2 plays. You had really 2 plays to get it done.
Let's not talk about that anymore.
Reminiscent about that.
But
but there's the kid, the LSU Darius Geis. He's a good running back. Chubb from Georgia is also another good back. So there's good backs that you can get
in the second
round. I think Seattle should go another round.
I like Jones. I really like his balance. What I saw is really good. I haven't seen him run a good 40. He's not going to have like the 4.3 speed, I don't think. But which everyone compares him to old Jamal Charles out of Texas, but running style is kind of the same type of size. But Jones does not have that low 4, a high 4.3 speed.
That Charles,
Charles had coming out.
Burner speed,
and I like Jones a lot. I like him better in the second round.
It'll be interesting to see.
Right now, we don't have it.
We might have some sound bites live from the draft. Even we were talking about.
What they have here is I think they have Seattle trading back twice or at least once and getting either a third round or a second round
Okay.
And then getting Jones and trying to get a lineman, I think, is what the last thought is here.
Yeah. No, well, that wouldn't be so bad then.
No, I could live with that.
Yeah. There's the kid from UTSA at 14, the Green Bay, Marcus Davenport.
Okay. Davenport, yeah.
And I don't know too much about him. I've
I
watched
don't either. I know
film
he
on
tore
him.
it up. He had a nice pro day. He was at the combine, I think.
Oh, I'm sure he probably was.
He was one of the highest spark players there.
Okay.
And but he's like one of very few edge rushers.
They said he's a little raw with some of his technique and stuff, you know. And then of course his level of competition was
way low,
not at the level.
So was what's the name for the Raiders out of Buffalo?
Oh, Khalil Mack. Yeah, I mean, and I think he was kind of like. I mean, a lot of people kind of had him almost as a no-brainer.
Yeah,
you know?
he was,
and he did
because his technique was awesome. He blew up at the combine. Everyone loved him.
It was the only knock on him was you don't know because
smaller school. That was it. You know?
And he got that going pretty quickly. But where was Nelson? Like I see they got McGlinchey at 12 to Cleveland. Nelson must be high.
Yeah. So,
there he is at 5 to Denver. Yeah. And the Broncos could certainly use an offensive lineman. I have to laugh. I don't like the move that the Broncos made at the quarterback position.
No, he's getting cut.
What's that?
I guarantee he'll get cut.
The
kid out of Memphis.
Oh no! The free agent that they brought in from the Vikings. They brought in the kid from Houston.
They brought in. Did they?
Yeah.
The journeyman, Case
Keenum. Yeah, they brought in Keenum he's going to be their starter.
Keenum would have been smartest to stay in Minneapolis.
Well, they got Cousins now, so they want to get rid of Case.
But then didn't Case sign first?
No, he was
Cousins signed.
Yeah, Cousins signed. So Keenum is going to be your starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos next year. And they have some talent at the wide receiver position. They still got Damaris. They still got Emmanuel Sanders, I believe. But the offensive line that will really help with that. That
would help the line.
Horace, and they need a running back too. They let C.J. Anderson go. I know he was talking to the Dolphins a little bit. I don't think he signed with anybody yet. But
this is a draft you can get a running back in the second to third round. Range.
Yeah,
nice depth at the back.
You got the two kids from Georgia. The kid from LSU
Royce Freeman, who tested great at the combine.
Oh yeah,
Oregon. Who?
Yeah, the kid from he's from Oregon, and then he went to.
Where'd he go?
He went to Oregon. He played. I think
straight Oregon.
Yeah, Royce. So you got Royce Freeman. You got Mark Walton from Miami. I think who could on the right situation be able to do some things for you.
You got
catch the ball in the backfield.
You got some nice options after second day 2 and day 3.
The kid from USC.
Yep.
There's also I think a couple others out there that are.
I think Nick Chubb is really going to flirt with pretty high.
Chubb and Michael, Michael. I think it's Michelle. Sonny Michelle is how it's pronounced.
They're going to flirt with a high second round pick, I think, because his spark was insane. Then he tested out of the gym again.
And Georgia backs generally are good.
Have checked out.
Yeah, good. Pretty solid. Reputation as far as the good backs that come out of Georgia.
That injury he had after that.
Yeah,
and he's come back. Finally, looked good in the bowl game. As good as he could look, and looked good at the combine. So you never know.
Yeah,
I love the kid. I love his talent.
I saw on Facebook a picture of Evander Holyfield's son's a running back at Georgia. You can't believe the arms on this kid.
Oh, I can't see what's Evander Holyfield.
He looks like a D lineman. As far as his arms, I have no idea.
Size?
I know nothing about him at all. I just saw the picture.
A brick,
One of the Miami fans had posted a picture, like, look at Evander Holyfield at spring. It was at spring practice here for Georgia, and
is he
unbelievable. I have no idea. I didn't even know his son played for Georgia, and that.
I gotta look it up.
But it was amazing how big he was on this picture. Unless it was photoshopped, it was incredible.
What's the kid? Elijah Holyfield. Yeah, he's not a little guy.
Look at that right there. That's and I swear he looked even bigger in the picture. So it might have been the way the angle of that, but that's big boy football looking right there running at you. I mean that looks like Herschel Walker size.
What is this? What's his?
Arrested on drug charges.
Marijuana.
I see. And that.
Yeah. Okay. How big's a? Well, where the heck? Come on.
But I don't know. Maybe he's a contender in their backfield. I know that George is going to be preseason ranked very high. Coming back. Possibly a repeat.
He's got that good size.
He's 20, so he's not that.
He's got to be a sophomore or junior.
Yeah, I don't know if he redshirted.
Yeah, he must have been.
Enrolled 6'1", 2016.
Is he a senior then?
Out of Atlanta.
So he's got to be.
Had a lot of offers.
Yeah, he did.
So 2012, 2013, 2014. Well, geez, he's
that's got to be high school.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say what that. Yeah, so his high school, he rushed for his senior year. He really blew up.
Destroyed it, yeah.
And that.
Doesn't give you nothing, does it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, he was the 6th running back in the country, at least on Scout. There coming out, but it was. I just saw that and was like, wow.
Yeah.
It looked like he was doing the old Herschel Walker, watching TV and doing push-ups during every commercial, and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the draft. Like I said, we might be doing some at least live sound bites for the draft.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
that'll be fun.
Hooping and hollering with some adult beverages, hoping our teams don't screw it up. And
it'll be exciting because the Seahawks we like to throw picks away or around.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins, they
do that.
Thing.
Oh, the Dolphins have been doing that for a long time, especially if it's an offensive line.
Yeah.
You could pretty much maybe I should be Quentin Nelson will be the or McGlinchey or both ranked high for Notre Dame.
So
if the Dolphins somehow got him, they'll end up being a bust because all of the Dolphins draft picks are busts.
It's a deep interior lineman draft.
Yeah.
The guards look nice. There's a lot of nice looking guards.
Yeah. And usually you don't worry about drafting a guard in the first round.
No, but this draft is like they've talked about Nelson like old Hutchinson out of Michigan.
Yeah, and that's what I would like the Dolphins could have. We got rid of Pouncey. Yeah. He went to the Niners. Yeah. Which I wasn't. They're talking about a culture change there, and I don't know if it's more. We come out with the culture change to mask the word rebuild. Because nobody wants to hear rebuild, especially
culture
ticket
change
holders
is a new hot ticket word.
Yeah, culture change, and some of the guys that they got rid of, the Sue, the Jarvis Landry, those guys can kind of fit into the mold of they're passionate, but
where they meet
Sue's a wild card. He's a spark. You don't know if he's personal fouls, false start penalties.
You don't know what he's going to do next.
The coaches, there was always around me that Jarvis Landry was not the type of guy that was going to be the first in the meeting room. One of those guys, but is he going to fight for 2 inches, on that, 9-yard reception? He's going to fight for that 10th yard. But that 10th yard is not worth $16 million a year.
The 16 yards.
Danny Amendola, who they signed as a free. I really like their free agent that they signed from Kansas City, the Wilson kid, the wide receiver.
The wide receiver.
I think he is going to be solid.
He played some outside. He played some wide.
He can play, and I'm excited about. I mean, when you look at their wide receivers, with him, with Amendola, still with Kenny Stills. Maybe Devontae Parker could finally stay healthy and get something going there. I mean, but there's potential there. They have no tight end at all.
Yeah, they have no tight end.
Except for where they got this A.J. Derby kid they got from Denver last year that they stashed. He didn't play, but they really like him, so they're going to really give him a chance.
I thought he's more of a blocker.
Now, I guess he's kind of supposed to be like a mixture of both, but we'll see. I mean, Denver supposedly really liked him, but somehow they let him go.
Okay.
That we picked him up. He's going to get a chance this year because that's one player I think the Dolphins are definitely going to draft as a tight end somewhere. Yeah. There's that kid from I don't know if it's from South Dakota or Goddard or Goddard.
There was
a Dallas Goddard or
there was who's that kid that blew up the combine? He can't block for let me see. Where the hell was I? Let's look. There's a kid that blew up the top combine with the best spark score of anybody. He's 6'6", 250 pounds.
Oh, wow,
he jumped 40. He jumped 40. He jumped in the vert. He jumped 10 broad. He ran a 4.5 40.
Wow.
He jumped 40 inches, which is crazy.
Yeah,
at 6'5".
Yeah,
his wingspan is nothing to shy away from. So, let's see here.
What the tight end rankings are.
Walter Football. Let's go tight ends here. Don't log me down. You never know with all the crap they run through here. There's the prospects there. Tight ends. There's a couple of nice classic blocking tight ends that really look good at the Senior Bowl, but that's what Seattle's looking for, hopefully in the later rounds.
So there is
Mark Andrews.
Oklahoma.
Just pass. And no one really graded out until this kid, Mike Linsky.
Oh, the kid from Penn State. Yeah. And then there's the kid from Wisconsin too that is a pass catcher. He was kind of, I think, banged up a little bit later in the year. He did play in the bowl game when they played against Miami, but he's there's the kid from Goddard from South Dakota State. I don't know if they have the kid on there
for that much weight.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the kid on there from Wisconsin, but he could catch the football.
Durham Smith,
there he is.
I like him.
Fungali or whatever, yeah. And then with Durham Smythe from Notre Dame, I don't really know too much about him.
He looked great. Like he's not gonna blow away physically.
Okay,
but he's very solid. Your classic catch the ball, block the ends.
Kind of like maybe like an Anthony Fasano type. When I think of a tight end,
your
that
classic,
that mold.
Not gonna wow you, and
okay,
he's not gonna run away from everybody. But he had beautiful hands in the Senior Bowl. Ran good routes.
Okay.
And hell of a good blocker. So
okay.
I think.
So you can guarantee that Miami is going to have one of these guys. Yeah. I mean, somewhere in the
I think him in the fourth. If you really like him,
fourth. Yeah, we got third, and we got two picks in the fourth. So,
but this kid, I can see this kid out of Penn State. I don't want Seattle to draft him because we want a traditional blocking tight end. We want to get back to the smash mouth ball.
They did with the Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham didn't quite work out.
Yeah, Jimmy. I mean.
But he's with Green Bay.
Yeah, now that's gonna work out.
Put up Jerry Rice numbers.
Yeah, in Green Bay. I mean, they got rid of Nelson.
Rodgers.
They got rid of Nelson. Yeah, but they got those two other wide receivers, the kid from Kentucky, and Randall Cobb, and then the other kid,
and
Adams.
Those
are going to be the bell cows.
Adams is like 24, 23.
Yeah,
still
and Cobb's still young too. He's not old.
No, he's about 20. He's 29, I thought.
No, I thought he was a little younger than that.
He's getting old.
Getting a little up there?
Yeah, because he came out, I think he was 24 when he came out.
Yeah, he did all 4 years in Kentucky. So, and he's been around by the league about 4 or 5 years. But this should be the time when he's really, starting, because he had some injuries in there too.
Yeah, that's why they got rid of old Nelson's, because they said when old Rodgers went down, Nelson's game didn't do anything.
Yeah,
he was a product of Rodgers.
Of Rodgers, yeah, and
he's old, he's banged up,
and he was getting paid some money too.
Yeah, he was. But Mike Linsky, man, he looked great. He has great hands. Mm-hmm. Some of the balls they throw
4.54 in the 40 at 6'5", 242.
And his contended catch ratio was crazy high.
Yeah, they say he's like a Kobe Fleener type, guy. The kid from Stanford.
Which Kobe never for blowing up the combine. He never really has lived up to that physical profile.
And then a little, not really. And then Andrew Luck's been out for so long now. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, what is he gonna look like next year after literally being out for a year and a half? Yeah. I mean, I guess I can say about the same thing about Tannehill because he's been out about a year and a quarter. Yeah. But I mean, it seems like Luck's been out even longer.
I wouldn't be surprised if they draft someone in the second or third round.
Well, it's time. You got to start thinking about Well,
they have Jacoby. Brissett.
Yeah, Brissett. I mean,
I don't like. He played good ball. The reason they were losing wasn't his fault.
They have a ton of holes.
They have a ton of holes still,
and that. So we'll see. But I wouldn't think that. I mean, they got to start thinking about maybe. I mean, I've seen it on some other sports shows that. You got to start thinking about that maybe Andrew Luck's never going to play football again.
Yeah.
With that shoulder. And then they say he's not the type of guy that's really going to fight through or even fight through like the pain and all that he was kind of almost getting like a soft knock. Or a smart kid knock of I'm not gonna destroy my body. I'm already a multi-millionaire. I graduated from Stanford University. I don't have to kill myself to still have a good life. And I mean, you got to think that,
that's part of the process nowadays. And, I mean,
Yeah.
I was saying, unfortunately, these pussies.
He's not going to cut his arm off to take
Play
the Colts to the
football
wild
with
card
them.
round and lose to the
Yeah,
Patriots.
He had some brilliant years, and he did. He played. He got brutalized.
Oh, they wouldn't have even been in those
destroyed.
playoff
No.
games if it hadn't been
He
for
was
him.
taking shots, though. I mean, they had no line, no team, and he's getting hit by everybody.
Yeah.
He was a stud for a few years.
And we'll see.
I can see it, But, you hate to see that because he was such a great talent. But that's the way it goes sometimes,
It's not for long league, for sure.
Exactly.
But I think our next, show, we'll maybe get into a little bit of and have a little prediction about maybe like the top 5, just because it's we'll see how close
wild.
we could get. You don't
our
know.
hard locks.
Yeah. We'll give like a top 5,
okay,
and we'll see how badly we fail on that as far as the.
I should go wild. I'm just going to go crazy with it.
Say, Josh Allen at number 1.
I already said that.
I've seen a couple of the two Joshes, Rosen and Allen, 1-2 to Cleveland and the Giants.
I'm just gonna.
Giants even traded Jason Pierre-Paul.
I want to piss some pundits off and just say Barkley, because there's so many people that just still say running backs do not go in the first round. So,
Barkley is a special talent.
He's a special one. I mean, even those ones, if you think you can get somebody who's an A+2 or an A- like what's his name, who went to Dallas a couple years ago from Ohio State. Elliott.
Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, so
and
I think he's a top 10 player. You make the move on him. I think someone like Gurley. Even I wasn't impressed too much with old LSU Forte. Forsett. Forsett. I thought he'd be more of a beast, but especially in the playoff game where they decided not to run his ass.
Well, but he had a pretty solid year, though. I mean, he came out with a lot of hype going to LSU that he was going to be.
And his combine carried through. He was as impressive as he should have been.
I think he's a piece that the Jaguars finally started drafting, well, and they put some pieces together. Nice pieces
going forward. And they re-signed Bortles.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
that's somebody I'm surprised that didn't let him go and try.
They let Allen Robinson go, but he was always kind of getting hurt. They let both Robinson and Allen Hurns out of Miami both go. But Robinson went to the Bears, and Hurns might be going to the Bears too. That's not Denver as well, but it'll be interesting to see how they move along. But
maybe they feel they're just going to try to do Seattle ball where they just
tried. They came close. They almost
did.
And you know what? Their defense in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia would have been a lot more effective than the Patriots defense would have. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, that would have been a fun. It was a fun Super Bowl either way. But man, it would have been fun. We talked about the calls.
Yeah.
The NFL calls, we like to call them.
Yeah.
Or I like to call them.
For
Jesus
sure.
Christ. But I think it would have been just as fun of a Super Bowl. I think maybe a guy had might have had higher ratings.
Yeah.
So that's it. Hey, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. It was a good show, and we'll definitely probably be catching you guys right before, in about maybe like 2 weeks, right before the draft.
And
we'll do the top 5. We'll do the sound bites on the draft. Maybe talk a little baseball.
Yeah,
my Cubbies.
We'll have to. I mean, I don't want to, but
pursuit for another World Series.
They're getting
title.
up there again. Yeah. And the Mariners are getting some buzz, I guess. I don't know if the pitching can do anything. If those young guys can swing.
Yeah, they're.
Is the king gonna come back?
Yeah, Felix Hernandez and that and stuff like that.
I hate to see him just completely fall apart so fast.
You have to talk about something with football season being on the hiatus. So
on the way out for a few weeks.
Okay.
But Ray, thank you for joining me again.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a good week.
Have a good week. Oh, and before we go, watch our goddamn show. We're chill. Hit us up. I'm on Twitter. He's not. Stalk him on Facebook. And, later.
See you later.